This is an iPod Touch 3rd generation, and as you can see, it's running iOS 5.1.1. But in today's video, we're going to try to upgrade this thing to iOS 6. Now these things never got the update to iOS 6, even though supposedly they were originally intended to get the update, but Apple's marketing team said no. I don't know why, maybe it was to sell more iPod Touch 4s or 5s or whatever they were selling at the time. But in any case, there was never a full release of iOS 6 for this thing. However, there were internal builds of iOS 6 compiled for this thing that apparently did exist. This upgrade is all thanks to the work of NyanSatan, who as of 1 week ago posted a GitHub page of how to get this up and running on an iPod Touch like this one. So let's go ahead and start the process. Now this iPod Touch was jailbroken, but I decided to unjailbreak it by restoring it from iTunes right before this, just to get a clean slate, make sure that nothing gets screwed up. I think that it's going to get restored again, especially since we do have to put this thing in DFU mode. But in any case, let's go ahead and begin the exploit. Here we are at the exploit page. It's called Sundance in H2A. You can see some photos of it. Looks like we need a computer running macOS 10.8 plus. This machine's running well past 10.8, which is great. Let's go ahead and copy this. I have Git on here. Yes, I do. Great. And we now have this installed. So we're going to need a few other things. If you scroll down here, we need an iOS 6 kernel cache. Again, internal iOS 6 builds. It looks like we can get one from here. I heard. Probably not quite something that is, I guess, legal. But hey, it's not like I'm the one talking about it in a video. Oh, wait. Let's go ahead and do cd artifacts and go ahead and paste in this command here. And that was a fairly large file, 7 megabytes in size. And we have our kernel cache. We're also going to need a copy of iPwnder32 or iPwnDFU. I think I'm going to go with iPwnDFU because it should work on this version of macOS. Probably looks for iPwnDFU on the path, if I had to guess. Export path equals... That looks like it'll work. It looks like we are also going to need IPSW files. So here's one of them, and it's going to take a decent amount of time because I'm doing this over Wi-Fi on this slow computer. And the Wi-Fi on this thing is not that great. There we go. It looks like what we need to do is patch the IPSW first before doing anything with the iPod. So I guess we didn't need to add iPwnder to the path. It doesn't really matter that much. And we don't have Python 3. Shit. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and move that to trash. Try that again. And bam, there we go. This is going to take a decent amount of time because this is a slow old computer. It said that this could take as much as 5 minutes, and I think that that NyanSatan was testing on a pretty similar machine to this one, so it might take a while. Hopefully it actually works. There are things that I think have a possibility of not working coming up fairly soon. The biggest thing being that this iPod has issues with its power button. It does work, and it can work pretty well actually, but sometimes when you press it, it doesn't respond, or responds to a double press, so it might take a few attempts to actually get this thing into DFU mode. And I remember the one time I got it into DFU mode before was when I was jailbreaking it. I ended up using a patched IPSW and restoring through iTunes that just got me to DFU mode. What you do is you go into 7-zip and you patch one of the files, and I don't want to do that. I really just want to avoid that, so hopefully I'm able to actually get the power button to cooperate for long enough to get me into DFU mode so I don't have to deal with that BS. 183 seconds, not bad. In any case, looks like that portion's done, so it's time to move on to the next portion. Now it's time to get this iPod into pwned DFU mode. So in order to do that, we need to first get into regular DFU mode. I'm going to go ahead and, I can up the brightness. That's a lot better. We're going to go ahead and get this thing into regular DFU mode. So let's connect it to the Mac, first of all, especially since the battery on this thing kind of sucks. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I'm going to kill iTunes because iTunes sucks. Why are you syncing? I don't want you to be syncing. Get out of here, iTunes. Alright, now let's get started. Immediately the power button is thinking that I'm not holding it down, it's thinking I'm just pressing it.
One eternity later.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even know what I did, but it's in DFU mode. That took like 10 minutes. Genuinely, 10 minutes just to get the iPod in DFU mode. That is crazy. That is an insanity. Okay, let's continue. iPonder 32. Or iPhone DFU. iPhone DFU-P. Why is iTunes... Okay, device is now in pwned DFU mode. Great. Quit out of iTunes. Get out of here, iTunes. iTunes sucks. Looks like we are now in pwned DFU mode. Finally. Now, go ahead and grab this. Executables iDevice restore, and this is the name of the file, so let's do it. iTunes showing up again. It's gotta be a problem having iTunes showing up, but I'll just leave it there, just in the background, kind of chilling. In the meantime, the iPod is actually restoring, showing the normal restore procedures anyways. See, we have our progress bar. It says waiting for NAND. Hopefully it finds the NAND. Okay, creating partition, creating file system, checking file systems, and the progress bar moved. I don't want to touch the iPod just in case it screws up. In case like the 30-pin connector's screwed up, which it shouldn't be. But, you know, that doesn't mean that it won't be, of course. So far, other than the terrible power button on this thing, it's worked. Everything's worked fine. So far, I don't want to jinx it, but, you know, I probably already did. Let's knock on some wood right here. Restore finished. Now let's see if it boots up again. Apple logo. This is iOS 6 on an iPod Touch, 3rd generation. Screen just dimmed considerably. It's brightened up. Oh yeah! We're in the setup for what should be iOS 6.0.0. We're going to disable location services. Set up as new iPod Touch. Don't create an Apple ID. Agree to the terms and conditions, which I'm breaking every single term in, I'm sure, by running iOS 6 on an iPod Touch 3rd generation. And look at that beautiful wallpaper. Look at that beautiful, beautiful wallpaper. Let's go ahead into the About page and see this for ourselves. iOS 6.0 on an iPod Touch 3rd generation. Holy crap, this works. This is really crazy. System does seem to be fairly slow, which is not entirely surprising considering the fact that it is an iPod Touch 3rd generation running iOS 6. And since we can't jailbreak it yet, and we can't install Cydia, and we can't install AppSync, there's really not that much you can do with an iPod Touch. You know, I could sign in with my Apple ID, but I'm not going to. I don't think iMessage works on iOS 6.0 anymore. I know it does on iOS 6.1.6 on the iPhone 3GS, or at least it did a few months ago. So about all we have is the built-in apps, and they do seem to be working decently fast and I mean, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but neither was iOS 5, and iOS 6 wasn't the fastest on the iPod Touch 4th generation or the iPod or the iPhone 3GS. So, say this is a test of the iOS 6 Notes app on a device never officially supported by Apple. This is cool as hell. It's definitely slow and definitely warming up a lot. The bottom of the device is very warm at this point. It looks like we do not have a camera app, which I was wondering whether there would be one or not. I guess that was patched out of this image somehow. As you can see, we have the broken iOS 6 Apple Maps. This hasn't worked in years, and there's no YouTube app. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please give this video a like. If you didn't, you can dislike this video if you'd like. You can check out my social media accounts. You can check out my Blue Sky, Mastodon, Twitter, Instagram, all in the description of this video. I don't post on Instagram. Don't follow me there. Don't follow me on Twitter either, honestly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.